Hey. I don't know. Bro, look at my nails. I feel like the background might be a bit too bright. Hold on. Today I just wanted to talk about some random things. I started like noting down things to like talk about. And it took a while because I kept thinking like I don't have enough like content to talk about. And now the list is a bit too long because like at some point like I've reached why are my eyes so uneven? Hold on. That better? I don't really know. Anyway, the eyes are just gonna be uneven today. Don't be mean. Yeah, at some point, like, the list was, like, you know, complete enough, but I really could not be asked filming a video, so I just kept adding shit to the list. Now it's really long. So some of the stuff is, like, really, really old. Mostly the first one, which is, like, the time blindness girly. This happened, like, ages ago. But basically, someone on TikTok kind of, like, blew up a little bit because they were, like, talking about this thing called time blindness. And how, like, they were applying for a job and she had like asked the hiring manager if there were any like measures that the company took in order to accommodate people with time blindness, which basically just means like I struggle to like be on time and shit. And this has been said before, and this is a really old topic, but it's called setting an alarm. As somebody who has time, I don't want to say that shit. As somebody who struggles to perceive the time and like know how much time has passed and understand like how to like work with time in order to be on time and shit like that, it's called setting alarms. And like I will always get ready ahead of time. I will never like I do my makeup incredibly quickly. This would have taken me about 30 minutes, which to some people could be just like a standard time, but to some people is like a long. Anyway, I will consistently give myself at least an hour to do like my makeup. I will give myself like 1 to 2 hours to just get ready in general. I know damn well I'm gonna take 2 hours to get ready for like a casual hangout. And I set hella alarms and you don't see me being a little bitch. There was also somebody online who basically said that you could test to see if somebody is a girl's girl by asking whether or not they're Taylor Swift. I think that's bullshit. Or maybe I'm just not. Because my opinion of Taylor Swift is that I really don't like her. To be fair, this was before obviously people forgot because it's Taylor Swift, and like people like Taylor Swift are like genuinely uncancelable, like at all, like even if some like she does something and people care about it, like Taylor Swift, like, you know what I mean, like when like certain people get cancelled, like they get cancelled like half of their fucking, or like, you know, a small percentage of their followers kind of just like fuck off, but they still like do okay. Like I feel like Taylor Swift is the person where like everyone, genuinely everyone, even the fan like that is a fan of her, like even the fans that like genuinely cared, will just like forget eventually. But this was before the whole like fucking private jet like carbon footprint bullshit. That kind of like adds to what I'm about to say, but I really don't like her because she kind of embodies the perfect definition of like fake feminism or like white liberal feminism, where somebody else also said this on the internet, but like I've had this opinion forever, but she said like Taylor Swift uses feminism as a reason that people can't be mean to her and not for its actual purpose. And I'm so glad she said that because that's so true. Also, if you'll remember, if you'll remember, oh my god, look, cat. Oh my god, look, it's a cat. It's a cat. Oh my god, the story about this cat, actually, so basically it's not originally our cat. We recently moved into this place. And this cat knew the person that used to live here because we also know the person that used to live here. Because anyway, this cat belongs to somebody else within the neighborhood. But this cat is such a slut for attention and love. Genuinely, like, community pussy. Like, she just started hanging around. Because also the person that lived here before us also had a cat. And so this cat, we haven't named it because it's not ours. So we just call it the cat. So the cat would come in and, like, steal the other cat's food. Oh, she's awake. Oh my god, look at her go. Anyway, when the previous inhabitant of this place left, this cat continued to come, and we got some cat food, and we fed the cat, and we also now have like a litter box, because I used to have bunnies, and I basically had like it was basically a cat's litter box. So I kept that litter box. I now have that litter box filled with like cat litter. So bathroom is here, food is here, constantly sleeps here, like genuine, like this is now our cat. Like we have kidnapped a cat. We don't know what house it belongs to. but we have kidnapped a cat, and she's staying here of her own volition. But we've kidnapped a cat, and all she does is sleep when we are awake, and then scratch the bed when we are asleep. So she's very pretty. I don't want to bring her here because she'll get mad at me, but her face is very pretty. She also has a twin. So the house that she originally came from has 2 cats. I don't know what the other cat is doing. I assume they're part of like the original household, because this cat genuinely just like whores about and the other cat doesn't as much. So I assume the other cat is at their real house. But this cat is now our stolen cat. But anyway, if y'all remember Girl Defined, they were basically just like these 2 very Christian like sisters, constantly talking about like Christianity and like modesty and just like very Christian stuff. That was like their entire content. Modesty was like a main like talking point of this. Ooh, Bethany, one of the sisters, got married to a guy who's not like as religious as her. As far as I know, is still religious, and he would basically get her clothes that were technically like not modest by her standards. Like they would be skin tight, or they would like show shoulders and stuff like that, like tank tops and stuff, and just like get her clothes that like he thought that like she would not look nice in, or like clothes that he likes on her and stuff like that. And it built up her confidence in wearing clothes that she would have previously deemed as like very much not modest and not okay, because she said that she was like kind of viewing it as like, there was this one like time where she and her husband like went on a date essentially, and there was this other girl there at the, whatever like restaurant or cafe that they were at, and she had like a really low cut shirt and she had like cleavage, and she was like consistently thinking the entire time like, oh my god, like my husband like needs like has to be looking at her, like how is she, like how is he like not looking at her, like how is she comfortable like that, like how is everyone able, like how are all the men here basically like able to control themselves and stuff like that. I don't really know. And basically she said that like she was kind of viewing men as like these victims that like women needed to like cover themselves up and like prevent from like enticing and stuff. And now she has like changed her view on that, and she's getting a lot more comfortable in wearing clothes that she would never have worn before, and people are kind of loving it. The husband himself is also just generally more progressive, and they had like collabed a few other times with this other Christian couple. The other Christian couple was trying to like not really bully him, but like, you know, kind of tease him for being like more progressive or whatever, implying that it wasn't really like true Christianity, or like real, or he wasn't like appropriate levels of religious. And people were also kind of loving the confidence that he had in his responses and stuff like that. There was this other TikTok game. There's a lot of like teeny tiny stories, because they're just like all, some things I have opinions on, some things I don't. Some things my opinions are like what people have already said, so like I'm not gonna like, anyway. But this girl, I'm pretty sure her name is like veganrizz or something. I'm gonna fully read off because I wrote a lot about this. I wrote out like full like paragraphs on things that I know I'd like forget the storyline about. But basically she was at like this small coffee shop, like a small local business, and she would like constantly film herself there like making videos and stuff, because she is, I suppose, like a content creator. And they had like asked her not to film, and she like argued about it and like filed a lawsuit against them for like discriminating her, like against her because of her job, because her job is content creation. She was basically saying like there are kids coming here and like taking photos and videos with like their coffee and stuff, but and there are like other people here who are like sitting here and doing their work on computers and stuff, but like when I work or when I pull out and like film stuff, it's an issue. Like yeah, because like you have like an actual following. Like the kids that are like posting pictures with their coffee, like they're like kids that are probably just posting it to their stories and stuff like that. You are posting it online and to a larger base of people. You'll understand like more as we keep talking about her, because she's just like also just not a great person. So I also personally wouldn't want my like company or brand to be associated with her. She also went to Target, or like, I said Target or something, so I clearly, maybe it wasn't Target, but she went to like a store and she was filming at the checkout. Like, so she was currently getting her checkout, like the cashier was like scanning her items. The employee asked her not to film, and she started like arguing about it. I don't even know, she was like, I don't remember exactly how it went, but like from my memory, the employer was like, can you please not film? And she was like, yeah, but like your face isn't in it. And they were like, yeah, but like my voice is in it, and like I just don't feel comfortable with you filming, you're not allowed to film in here, it's policy and stuff like that. She's like, well, that's fucking stupid. Just started like arguing with her about it, like, I promise that, like, oh my god, leave people alone. And then she was just like, okay, I won't buy anything then, and then like walks out. Like, why are you a child. Why are you a child? She's not, by the way. She's like very much an adult. I don't know her age, but she's like very much an adult. She'd also accused her mum of like killing her ex, as in like her mum's ex, because he's like missing. But her mum, okay, so her mum said that he had like assaulted her and stuff. And so veganrizz was like, then why wouldn't we like want to find him and bring him to justice? Because like she was not keen to find him at all. It was just a really, I'm like not gonna be able to like fully encapsulate the situation, but it was just like really weird vibes. Like there's kind of no evidence of her mum doing anything to this guy, and she was just like posting videos on the internet with her following and everything. Basically not even implying, like straight up saying like, I think my mum definitely did something to this man, he's been missing since whatever. And like it was just really weird. She was like, the police haven't done anything, here's like my police report and stuff like that. And her just saying like, if he had like assaulted you or something, like why wouldn't you want to find him and like bring him to justice? That was just a weird point to make. Obviously nothing's gonna happen if that happened. Like I don't know what her logic and reasoning was there. So this is a bit of a grey area for people, and I do understand that. But basically she had exposed kids from a kid's school, like showing their faces and like I think names and everything, because they like beat her son up and like jumped them. But then she had apparently posted the name and location of the school that her son goes to, which like is not only like dangerous for the kids, but also dangerous for your son. And like your entire thing's like you're mad because like he got in danger, like you're putting him more in danger. There was also just, this isn't like problematic, but it was just like a weird part of the story where she like filmed herself like crying at the hospital. Like there wasn't any substance to the video. She was just like crying, filming herself crying, and then filming herself like hug her son. I don't really know. She also set up a GoFundMe to move because she didn't feel safe after her son got assaulted. But then she had bragged so much previously about how much money she made and how she made like 20 grand a month or some shit like that. I don't really know, but like she made thousands a month and she was like bragging about that. Like it was just really weird. Like why do you need desperately money to move? But then you're like, oh, I don't think people really believe that she makes as much money as she does because she's not like massive, but I don't know, it was just like really weird. It was just really weird. And also she just seems like a child. Like the first two things that I talked about where like she stormed out of the store because like she was told that she couldn't film, and then she also like filed a lawsuit against this like coffee shop because they told her that she couldn't film herself. I don't know what she was doing. She might have been like being an entire nuisance and shit like that, or maybe she was just like chilling the fuck out. But either way, like she obviously has a following, and also like the store owners, they're allowed to like do what they want, and also you're annoying. So the next thing is that Piers Morgan interviewed like the real life Martha from Baby Reindeer. Why did I say that so weird? Baby Reindeer. He only paid her like £250 for the interview, which is crazy because it got like millions and millions of views. And if y'all don't want to watch it because you don't want to support him, don't worry, I got a rundown. So basically she's suing Netflix for serious false allegations, but apparently she like very like firmly claims in the interview that she hasn't watched it. Not only does she claim that she hasn't watched it, but she claims that it wasn't her. So it was just really interesting. Like Netflix never said it was her, first of all. And like how are you supposed to like claim like specific things didn't happen if you hadn't watched it? I don't know. It was just like she obviously had watched it, which we'll get into, but like it was just so weird because like she would like, okay, Piers would like ask her very specific like minor detail questions that she just like answered like off the bat, like no questions asked, which would have been really weird if you like hadn't watched the show. Like he asked her like, did he offer you a cup of tea? And she was like, no, he never offered me a cup of tea. And it was just like why would that not confuse you if you hadn't watched the show? And she also said that she never like saw the actress. What was this? That she's never seen the actress that plays her in the show. But then, which like is also probably not true. But then she like goes on to say that the actress is like so much younger than her, and just like I don't know, just like because Piers was like, yeah, the actress like looks a lot like you, and she was like, no, she doesn't. Like she's obviously like a lot younger and all these things. Like how would you know if you've never seen her? What do you mean? And she was also like, I don't think that's a compliment at all. Like first of all, the girlie that played you was actually really pretty. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm sure we know this by now, but she did like the Uno reverse where, you know, obviously the show is about her stalking him and stuff. And she was like, no, actually, like he was obsessed with me. Like he stalked me, which was interesting, which she obviously has like absolutely no proof for, but there is a lot of proof that she did some weird shit. She was asked about her surname change because she didn't have a part of her surname because it was like hyphenated, and she just like got rid of half of it. And she was asked if it was like because of like previous links to the stalking case, which like if you've seen Baby Reindeer, like you would like there was like cases where like she was stalking people, and that is a real case. Like she had a case of like being a stalker and stalking somebody, and that was like a real criminal like court thing. And she again pulled the Uno reverse and was like, actually no, like I got stalked, like they were stalking me, which I don't know, bro. I just think overall, like, Piers Morgan was such an awful person to do this interview. Like, yeah, people are really mad that she only got paid, like, £250 because obviously she made him a lot of money, and she's obviously, like, really unwell, whether or not she is innocent or guilty. Like, she is just, like, it just feels, like, very exploitative and feels like that he's, like, taking advantage of this woman who's, like, obviously very mentally unwell. Afterwards, he also said that they did their due diligence of care for her because they, like, paid for a haircut and, like, I don't know, maybe like the Uber to the interview and stuff, which is like crazy to say. I also just don't really think he's a smart enough person to like interview her. I'm not saying I would be either. I just don't think he is the like best choice. Like he is not there enough to be the one interviewing her, because obviously like with the discussion of like, hey, you only paid her £250, that feels really exploitative, like especially considering that she's obviously very mentally unwell. He was like, I don't think she seemed mentally unwell at all. Like, yeah, she did. Like, she was, like, constantly, like, none of her stories made up. She's obviously a pathological liar. Like, you can... Obviously, we all believe she is who Martha is based off of in Baby Reindeer, but, like, even if she isn't, right? She lied a lot in that interview, and she is so comfortable answering everything with a lie, or just adding in lies for shits and gigs. Like, she's obviously a pathological liar, and that obviously comes from something. She also denied having, like, sent a bunch of, like, emails and, like, contacting him and stuff, which, is proven to be false. There are records of not all of the emails, but there are records of a lot of emails. There are also records of a lot of emails back from, like, that other stalking case that she had. Like, there were a lot of emails, like, between her and... No, I think it was a different guy. There was a different guy. Like, the Prime Minister of... I don't actually fucking know. Wait. I think it was, like, the Prime Minister of, like, Britain at the time, or I don't actually fucking... It was somebody high in, like, politics. She had, like, sent them a crazy number of emails as well. And I'm really sorry, but I forgot the guy's name, but the guy from Baby Reindeer, she had also been proven to, like, send a bunch of emails to him. She admitted to, like, tweeting him, because that was, like, very easily proven, and people had, like, already found it at that point. Like, there was no digging, like, really needed to do. Like, it was right there. She was like, no, I did think I did tweet him, like, a few times and stuff like that. Like, she tweeted him a lot. The next thing is another TikTok. I have a lot of TikTok drama. But basically, there's this company called Glamlite, and they basically made about $72,000 off of this content creator, like a TikToker called Christian Chanel, who was a black female creator, and she had a meeting with them to basically discuss, like, future business with them and, like, the next steps to take and stuff like that. The company wanted to make a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like, palette or set, in order to, like, celebrate, like, Black History Month, and they wanted her to be the face of it. And she was like, yeah, I'll, like, you can discuss it with my manager, like, I'll talk to my manager and you guys can sort it out. And then apparently she said that the vibe changed. This is all, like, from her video. This is, like, basically everything that she said in her initial video. She was like, the vibe changed, and they said they didn't have the budget for anything, or for her, basically. And this was even before that they had been told what the rate was, which was really interesting. They also wanted to invite her to an event for a different set anyway, so obviously they had, like, some money to blow. She said that they had also apparently recently paid, like, recently as of the time of she posting this, but apparently they had recently paid a different white male, like, TikTok creator $1 million plus royalties. They also had a collaboration with Michaela, like the fake eyelash girl, and she's definitely not cheap. She is a massive creator. Christian Chanel had been getting 15% commission for her work up to this point, like through like TikTok Shop, and that's like how they made the 72 grand. So she asked to have a high commission percentage, and they said, we don't know how to put you on a targeted plan, which is really interesting because, like, just up the commission. Like, I don't really know what that was about. Like, up to like 20-25%. I feel like that was kind of straightforward. I don't really know. This is not a part of her video, but apparently they had, like, ghosted a lot of people with, like, defective products. So customer service was apparently, like, a bit iffy. So the owner came out, who was also a black woman, by the way. She came out and said it was, like, a massive misunderstanding. In her video said that she never said that they didn't have a budget for her. Oh, there was also a massive thing because, like, after the meeting, Christian Chanel basically emailed them, basically a follow-up email, like, hey, let me know, that kind of vibe, like, we could have a chit chat and stuff like that. And they, like, didn't respond for, like, over 4 months. And then when they did respond, it was, like, a very shitty response that she was, like, not happy with. And within that time, she was still, like, being asked to go to this event for a different, like, makeup launch. And so she was like, that's, like, so fucking, what the fuck, don't ever, how dare you, and, like, left them on red for that, like, invite and stuff. Glamlite basically said that it took them over 4 months to email back because the original marketing assistant left, and they were left with only, like, one marketing assistant. So they originally had two. The one that was, like, dealing with, like, Christian Chanel had left, and now they only had one. And they basically just, like, forgot to, like, hit send on the email. Like, the email that they were trying to, like, respond with was left in drafts. And that's why it took, like, 4 months to send an email back, because it was, like, in drafts the entire time. They said the guy that got paid over $1 million, like, the white male creator that got paid over $1 million, was like, a year before this entire, like, controversy, or, like, the issue that is at hand currently. And also he never got paid. She was saying that, like, Christian should have reached out via private, like, number, because she had been given her private number, and if she was, like, having issues and stuff like that, she should have reached out privately. And then Christian responded again saying that her 50% commission is still not changed. She's still sitting at a 15% commission. She also said that they had, like, agreed to change the commission in person at some point. It's not changed after obviously several months now. She made them so much money, and therefore she deserved a higher commission, and also they agreed in person. Why can't she have a higher commission? Why is it still 15%? She also said in response to, like, you know, you should have reached out via, like, private messages and stuff, like, that she does not, like, owe the company, like, begging. Like, she does not have to, like, beg a company to, like, sort this shit out, essentially. The whole the other, like, white male content creator that got paid $1 million is just, like, a word. Whose word versus, like, your word versus mine. Oh my god, why am I struggling so much? But yeah, it's basically word versus what. Oh my god. It's basically who you believe. The company still wanted to fly it out for the event after the launch of the palette, so obviously they dismissed the collab, because, like, even when the, like, email was sent, there was just like nothing, like, after that meeting, and she was like, you can talk to my manager about, like, you know, paying me. They just completely dismissed the collab with her. They also said they were excited about the possibility. This was, like, the email, right? After 4 months, they finally sent the email. The email itself said they were excited about the possibility of putting Christian on a targeted TikTok plan. She also said that, like, when her video went up, they posted a video instead of reaching out to her and, like, turned all the comments off. Which, like, yeah, I think, like, if you're the company and you're, like, genuinely believing, like, hey, this isn't, like, entirely just, like, a massive miscommunication, like, and massive, like, misunderstanding, I think it is a really good idea to just, like, message them first and, like, sort it out then. From, like, a brand's perspective, instead of, like, posting, because obviously, like, her brand is herself, right? Your brand is, like, a brand. It's really interesting, but, like, given the screenshots of, like, the email and her commission still being at 15% after everything, it's just really, I don't know. I feel like I want to side with her on this one. Tarasworld, who I don't like, by the way. She's the, I'm finna be in the pit, girl. I don't like her. Her entire, like, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even, like, I'm finna be, like, obviously she seemed, like, really entitled and mildly annoying in that video, but that's, like, not even really an issue, really. People at that tax bracket, especially if they've been in that tax bracket for a really long time, are obviously going to kind of, you know, just become like that over time. And I want the privilege to become like that over time. What I'm mad about is that, like, lesbian thing where she was, like, teasing her boyfriend for, like, not letting her kiss other girls, because, like, boyfriends that she's had in the past, like, loved it when she kissed other girls. Like, she also, like, was getting drunk to, like, film something with a girl for her OnlyFans and shit, and she was just like, I have to be drunk in order to do that. It was just, like, really weird. There's obviously, like, a very covert homophobia there. But basically, she posted this, in this situation, she's not in the wrong. Apparently, the eggs that she was eating weren't really vegan anyway, but I think they were vegan eggs. I'm gonna call them vegan eggs. Apparently they weren't vegan eggs. I'm gonna just call them vegan eggs. She posted a video about vegan eggs, saying how it's, like, bad to eat animals or, like, harm animals for our own, like, enjoyment and stuff. And there was a hunter that responded to that, saying that hunters are important in society, and that, like, one deer that she killed fed, like, 8 people. Like, you know damn well that's not. Please employ critical thinking skills. Like, I find veganism to be a very difficult topic to talk about without people getting defensive. And I want to first and foremost say I am not vegan. I've been, like, in and out of it for a while now, but I'm making an effort. Like, I'm struggling, but I'm making an effort. So I'm not vegan. I want to make that very clear. Like, you know damn well, like, people don't have an issue with I mean, like, I'm sure a lot of people do, but the main thing about, like, especially modern day veganism is that, like, It's because, like, animal agriculture has gotten so far. I don't know why you as a hunter took it so personally. I don't know why people take veganism so fucking personally. Every time people are like, oh, this person's, like, too vegan, they're, like, too, like, outwards about it. Like, I'm always gonna side with them. Especially over people like this. Because you sound fucking stupid. Like, yeah, that's why vegans don't care about, like, indigenous people who, like, hunt and kill and, like, use the entirety of the animal to feed people. Like, people don't give a fuck about that. But we have progressed past the point we don't need meat anymore. You know damn well, like, what she was referring to. Like, be so fucking for real. I just don't understand why people get so defensive about it. Like, and I want to paint this picture as clearly as possible, right? People who are vegan, it is a moral choice, right? It is an ethical choice that they have made because they see animals as equal level to humans. Their lives, at the end of the day, they are conscious lives. Right? They feel pain, they feel when they're being killed, they feel when they're being, like, forcefully impregnated for dairy and, like, more meat consumption, right? They can feel and, like, live through all of that. They are conscious living beings, right? And I want to try and say this as clearly as possible because a lot of people make connections to the Holocaust and that really, like, irks people, and I understand why that irks people. So I want to make sure that, like, people don't, like, I'm not trying to compare animal agriculture to the Holocaust. But listen to me. Other morals or, like, ethical choices that people have made, whether that is in regards to, like, racism, sexism, stuff like that, right? Anything to do with, like, socioeconomic status, especially, like, it's because you still see that other person as a human being. Like, homophobia. Homophobes don't think that gay people deserve certain treatment or respect because they are gay. But you know that they are still people regardless of whether or not they are gay, and they deserve proper respect and treatment and acceptance of their existence. That's how vegans feel about animals. Just because you haven't reached the point, like, just because you don't go as far as to think that animals are also level to humans or as equal to humans, that's where they're coming from, and that's why I will never ever hate on a vegan for being, like, too vocal about it. Another thing I want to talk about is the, like, I'm sure y'all have seen it, more TikTok drama, but it was, like, the boyfriend who, like, got a haircut, and so this girl made, like, a TikTok video where she, like, passed the phone around, and everyone, like, basically said an opinion. She, like, came out with a new video basically saying, like, it was a joke because the haircut looked exactly the same as his previous, like, hair before the haircut. And so she made the video as a joke, and the friend didn't really know what she was doing. She wasn't aware, like, that, you know, people were holding up really high, because they were, like, this close to their faces, right? She wasn't really aware, like, she wasn't aware, like, she just wasn't aware, okay? Like, she was just like, it was just a video, okay? They were just having a bit of fun, it was just a joke. And now, like, everyone's hating on the girl. So they're either, like, hating on the girl, or hating on, like, the girl, like, the girlfriend, like, the poster of the video, basically saying that, like, the other girl is, like, significantly prettier and shit like that. That's, like, the defenders of the other. So this girlfriend, and then I'm gonna call a girl one, I'm sorry, I don't know either of their names. A girl one was getting, like, hella threats and, like, basically being, like, ripped to shreds, and the people who weren't ripping her to shreds and, like, trying to defend her were just, like, calling the other girl ugly, basically. And everyone in the comment section was basically like, she knew what she was doing, like, I promise, like, there's something sketchy about her and shit like that. I want to say something. If you believe that girl one was really sketchy, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. And you're also perfectly welcome to comment that under her video saying, like, hey, I think that, like, something's up. Like, she was trying to make a pass at your boyfriend and shit like that. Okay, obviously, like, the group that was, like, hating on the girlfriend being like, girl one is so much prettier, like, I don't know why he doesn't date her instead in the first place. Like, obviously they're not valid. We're not gonna talk about them. For like, from such a small, like, I can very much see, like, how it could have just been a funny, like, a little, like, an oopsie, not even a mistake, really, just, like, it's just, like, a little thing, like, so, like, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like it was just so, that so easily could have just been, like, completely innocent. So I really don't think people should be as angry and as confident in her intentions as they are. And I'm, like, also, like, I have struggled a lot with, like, feeling the vibes of the room and people and shit like that. So I personally didn't think it was too malicious, but, like, even if I did, like, if I'm like, that bitch is, like, out to get her man, that I still know nothing. I don't know about their relationship. I don't know about her relationship with the boyfriend. I don't know what her type is. I don't know anything about this girl. I would not be so incredibly confident in saying the shit that y'all have been saying to girl one directly and also just on the internet, because it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. I think it's just insane. It's one thing to absolutely fucking dogpile on somebody for something that they definitely did and like were in the wrong with, and then it's something completely different to dogpile on somebody but something that you do not know for a fact, because you can think that you know, but you do not know for a fact that like she was doing with malicious intent. Like that could have been completely innocent. But yeah, that's all. And that's where I'm gonna stop because I've talked too much, and I will continue to talk more later. So don't even worry about it, girly pop. Bye.